It's all yours.
First off, just want to say, obviously, how honored we are as a program to be associated with a bowl as prestigious as the Sugar Bowl. This is truly one of the best ones. You can circle it, on your calendar every year. You're going to get everybody's attention in the nation when you get to play in a game like this. Luckily for me, was able to have a little bit of crawfish etouffee last night, which is always exciting, and have a couple oysters. So probably the first time I stepped out of the hotel this week. But this is one of those special ones. I know our guys are really excited. I know that we have a tremendous amount of respect for Baylor and the program that Coach Rule runs, and how prepared they'll be. So we're excited for a really a fun game. Watch our guys go out there and go to work.
Let's start out in the front row right over here.
Morning, Coach. Chip Towers, Atlanta Journal-Constitution. Can you talk about the realities of not having J.R. Reed here and just what that safety position is going to look like without him here?
Yeah, the reality is that's an opportunity. I love JR. He's done a lot for our program. Extremely excited, for him and his future. But we're excited for the guys that are here and what they're going to do. The reality is somebody's going to step up, and that is pretty common in this in this day and age, that you're going to get guys that get opportunities in games like this. We had a lot of young guys that got opportunities in this game last year, and I think that was critical to their development. And also provide you some insight as a coach, what you got. And we've got some really good players on our team. Excited to see those guys go perform.
We'll move over right here.
Coach, you were up here last year. We didn't know if you were going to be the coordinator. Now lots happened. Can you just kind of talk about what this first season as coordinator has been like, working with Kirby, and some of the things that this Georgia defense was able to do this season?
Sometimes you sit back and it's hard to realize the blessings that you've had on your life. And there's probably nobody, associated with this program that feels as fortunate as I do to get to do what I do every day. We have outstanding coaches, on the defensive side of the ball, Glenn Schumann, Trey Scott, Charlton Warren. Those guys are a pleasure to work with. I get an opportunity to work with Coach Smart every day, and for me, that's really exciting. He's a phenomenal coach. Since the first day I've got here, I've approached it like a guy that has a lot to learn. And I'll tell you this, he's not afraid to teach me. So that's exciting. More exciting than that, we build our mantra on kind of being the defense of, the no-name defense. It's not really about the players, it's about us. And it's been about us this entire year. Our guys have just gone out constantly and performed, tried to play to a standard regardless of who the opponent is. And it's been exciting seeing our guys embrace that this year. They've just done a really good job, I think, of attacking it each week. This game no different. The standard doesn't change for this one either.
Move over here on the right side.
Ted Lewis from the Advocate Times-Picayune. Where did the no-name defense idea come up from? And also, in this day and age of so many prolific offenses, how much pride do you take in the numbers that your defense has been able to put up this year?
Yeah, I'll be honest. I don't know really where it came up. It just kind of came into conversation one day in one of those defensive meetings that we have, that, look, it really doesn't matter what anyone else thinks outside of this room. What really matters are the people in this room. We take a lot of pride in our performance, in everything we do, not just the way we play, but the way we meet, the way we present, the way we practice, the way we work. And it's great that the numbers can reflect that. This year, that's awesome. But our number one goal, regardless of the numbers, is the win. And I think our guys take a lot of pride in that. And a lot of times those numbers, they equate to wins. So when you're doing things the right way, you get to win, like we have been able to win here at Georgia. So we want to hold our defense to a standard, and we've been fortunate to hit that several times this year. But the number one priority for us always is that W. And I think what's great about our players is they don't care who gets the recognition. They truly don't. They want to have success, but they all realize that individual success comes within team success.
I think we're still on this side of the room over here.
You were asked about J.R. Reed. You're missing a couple other guys in the secondary. Who are some of the guys that maybe didn't get as much playing time that you're going to have to count on more this time?
Fortunate for us, we've played a ton of guys this entire season. I think you go back and you look, we probably had over 40 guys that have really had significant roles for us in this defense. So you're going to see more. you're not necessarily going to see new, but you'll see more. You'll see more Lewis Seen. You'll see more Chris Smith, more Otis Reese. You'll see some more guys, but you're not necessarily going to see new guys because all those guys at this point in the season have contributed, to our success.
Front row, still on the left side.
Brooks Austin, Sports Illustrated's Bulldog Maven. Baylor's obviously a Big 12 offense, but they do it a little differently, running the ball over 54% of the time. What kind of challenges do they present?
Yeah, first off, they're extremely well coached. They do a really good job on offense of mixing it up. They can carry tempo, but they can also slow it down. They have big tight ends that can block at the point of attack, but they're really big at wide receiver outside. And that's a challenge. They make you play them honest. If you want to take away the wideouts, well, they're going to be able to run the ball. If you want to take away the run, they're going to be able to throw the 50-50 ball outside to guys like Mims. And then they have shifty backs, and their quarterback's just a winner. Brewer's a winner. And you think, okay, well, if he's not in, if somebody else is playing, the next guy comes in and has the success he had in the championship game. So they're really balanced. And you can't pick one thing or another thing to take away from them because you're probably pulling away from something else that you need to be able to do well. So, you just watch them on film. You can see extremely well coached, play really, really hard. They compete for the ball, and they don't beat themselves. They're a team that doesn't beat themselves. So, that sticks out.
Stay on the left side.
Coach, is Tyrique McGhee here? And if not, why not?
Yeah, all I'm speaking about are the players that are here. Got great respect for every guy that's helped us throughout this season. Done great things for us this season. But the guys that are here, those are guys we're going to compete with.
You have a lot of guys contributing who were not that highly recruited, especially at the level that Georgia's been recruiting the last couple of years. What does it take to develop a player like that, and how much pride do you take in that? You've taken some guys who is that what you saw in them when you were recruiting them, but regardless of how many stars they had, and how much pride do you take in being able to develop players?
Probably not common to popular belief. We don't really care how many stars guys have. That just seems to happen. But we focus on, the overall player, what kind of person they are and where's their room for growth. And if we can take guys that are, talented players but are eager to get better, those are the guys you really see develop. And I think the guys that you see that you're talking about in our program that have done that have really attacked it and wanted to get better. They come out of this program a whole lot better player because obviously Coach Smart's one of the best people doing it when it comes to development of players. And we have a lot of support. We've got player personnel staff, we've got a strength staff, we've got coaches, we've got a lot of people that touch our players in our program. So at the end of the day, that provides a lot of opportunities for growth. And we have some guys that are really taking advantage of that.
Back on this left side.
Coach Zach Klein from Channel 2 in Atlanta. Who's the one player who's shown the most progress from the beginning of the year to now? It's impressed you a lot.
Gosh, that's a really hard one to pick. We've had a lot of guys that have done really well. One guy that sticks out to me, at least from my position group, is Azeez Ojulari. Kind of his coming out game last year was this game, and he's just continued to work and push himself throughout this year to get better and help us. But it would be really hard to single out one guy. You look at our guys on defense. There's a lot of guys that have played really well and gotten better throughout the season.
Front row on the right.
Mike Griffith, AGC Dog Nation. It's kind of a two-parter here, Dan, and I know you don't like to talk about yourself and deflect, but that's going to be part of it. One, if you could expand more on Azeez, he was one of the 7 semifinalists for Freshman of the Year. What made him a team captain? He's the first Kirby's ever had. And then 2, I guess it was last year Kirby was talking about you and said you did some things outside the box. He's been a coordinator a long time. Can you elaborate a little bit on something maybe you brought that impressed Kirby or some principles that you bring to the game?
Yeah, well, first off on, Azeez, what makes him different, he's the kind of guy that'll get up in the room and he does it by showing you, not by what he says. And I think that's something we've challenged Azeez. Hey, man, you can be more vocal. You've earned that opportunity. But what he does, he just rolls up his sleeves and goes to work every day. That's what Azeez has brought to our program and what he does. And I think when you set by example, when you lead by example, that's a really good way to lead. That being said, I know Azeez knows there's a lot of opportunities for him to get better, and I think he's excited to attack those areas for growth. I don't think you could single me out from a standpoint of doing something outside the box. I think every one of our coaches on the defensive side of the ball really look for, and this is more credit probably to Coach Smart, from a standpoint of he doesn't want to be cookie cutter from a standpoint of defense. We're going to find things that are going to make us better. If we need to change the way we do a defensive meeting, if we need to bring excitement to a different piece of practice, if we need to get guys running around with the ball in between periods so we can strip at it to work on takeaways, whatever it is that we can do different, Coach Smart is willing to do, and he's really afforded our defensive staff the opportunity to go look for different things that can make us better, and he's probably at the forefront of that as much as any other person on our staff when it comes to making changes.
We have time for two more. The back row.
Hi, Coach. Anthony Dasher, UJSports.com. I know there have been reports that Robert Beal had put his name into the transfer portal, but he's here practicing here at the Sugar Bowl. Can you say if he still plans on transferring or does he plan on staying with the team?
I can't speak to Rob. I know he's here working with us this week. Excited to see what he's doing, but no, I can't speak to that.
And final question. Stay on the left, please.
Dan, you talked about the no-name defense thing. Did you all kind of by design, I think you played, I counted about 24 players in a regular rotation. I think JR may have been the only guy that stayed on the field all the time. Did you all by design say, we're going to make up for not having that one star or whatever by embracing our depth and attacking it that way?
I think what we really set out to do at the beginning of the year is identify the guys that were ready to play and contribute to our team. And what we didn't want to do is have guys that we felt like could play on the sideline for us. So if you had the ability to have a role for us in this defense and you were ready, what we've said from the get-go is, if you're good enough, you're old enough. It really doesn't matter how old you are. And we've had a lot of guys that we felt like were good enough and we could find roles for them. And when we've been able to find those roles, those guys have excelled and done a good job depending on what we felt was best for us to take away the team that we were playing. A lot of guys embraced those roles, and that equated to a lot of guys playing. So we want to reward guys that work hard and are ready to play.
Thank you, Coach.